I'm Stu. Welcome back to another LumaFusion video tutorial. I'm going to assume by now you have downloaded and updated LumaFusion to version 5.3. Now, whether you're using the creator pass or whether you've maybe tried setting up for the 7-day free trial or just decided to blow caution to the wind and downloaded PaintX. In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to best prepare for using PaintX, because it's a little bit different to maybe things you've been working with in LumaFusion up until now. So let's get started. I want you to think about the video footage you're going to be working with. I'm going to assume that you're filming it yourself and it's going to be your own clips. But if, like me, you have to dip into Storyblocks quite a lot, then this is a good exercise in being aware of file sizes and things like that in Storyblocks. When it comes to using a clip, for example, this clip here, I've got a close-up of a globe and it's just panning across towards Italy. I don't want to serve the full 12 seconds of the clip directly into PaintX because that's a lot of data for it. So what I want to do is find a happy medium on this clip and maybe trim it up a little bit and find the sweet spot and then get rid of the rest of the data. So instead of working with a 12-second clip, I've got this narrowed down to 3 seconds, which is an awful lot more manageable. And the next thing to take into consideration is the actual size of the video clip you're working to. This particular clip here is only 1080p. 1920, 1080. If you're working with a 4K clip or larger, then obviously that's a lot more data that you're going to be crunching. So you have to keep that in mind when bringing things into PaintX, because you'll find that if you're using PaintX regularly, it's quite resource intensive. Not impossible to work with, but a bit resource intensive. Another setting that you maybe don't dip into that often in LumaFusion, again I want you to be aware of, is we go into our settings and then preferences, and we move down towards the advanced settings. You will see the preview, generally speaking, is set to good. If you've got an iPad Pro or the latest iPhone 16 Pro Max, you might be working at best looking preview. But generally speaking, you're probably, when using PaintX, going to want to drop this down to fastest. So you're not going to get the best looking preview clip going on here on the top left, but you are going to get something that's going to be less jittery and will run a little bit smoother. As you will probably have seen in my What's New in LumaFusion 5.3 video, you're going to want to highlight your clip and then go into Color and Effect. Because all of the blurs and different effects have been consolidated into one panel here now, we've got a new panel over here called Plugins. And the first of the new plugins that we're getting is PaintX, obviously. You just need to tap on that, and that automatically brings you into the preset window. So this is the first thing you're going to see. Now, try and avoid using a blank canvas to start with. Work with the presets that are available. For example, in the What's New video, I showed you a track blur. We'll come back to that later on. In this example, I'm going to show you a track highlight, which is probably one of the easier things to actually do in PaintX. So I'm going to tap on that. Now, as you come into the UI, I will say that I find the UI to be a little bit clunky. Okay, so once you've tapped your preset, in this case track highlight, you're going to get the main interface, which is divided up into 3 sections. You've got your bottom section here, which we can tap and close off. We've got your nodes and layers side section here, which again we can press X and close off. And then we've got the top tools section. So sort of 3 panels within. So when you don't need one, just tuck it out the way. So if we look at the bottom, first of all, this is pretty stock standard. You have got your playback tool, moving frame left or frame right, and then just moving to the beginning or the end of a clip. Or if you've got keyframes, moving through the different keyframes on the go. So the first thing I would say when it comes to this is make sure that your clip actually starts at the beginning. Now with this particular tool, what you're aiming to do is everything inside this bounding box here is going to be highlighting the actual clip itself. Everything outside is going to be a bit darker. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move over to Italy, and I'm then going to go up to my tools, make sure I'm on my move tool, and if you just play things through, you'll see without it being tracked, it just moves across to the right. We put it back to the beginning, and I'm going to position it so that I'm locked off onto the bottom corner of the A of Italy on the globe. I'm then going to press the track buttons. You've got this little control panel here. You can either track backwards, which we'll talk about later on. Generally speaking though, you want to track towards the right. You do have the option for adding keyframes. Again, that's something we'll dip into as I create these video tutorials. So if we just tap on this one, it will do all the work and track everything through. Within the controls here, we can adjust things. So for example, we can play with the size, the softness of the edge, the aspect ratio, so make it a little bit skinnier, the angle, you want to play with that, and the overall opacity of the effect. If you've got to this point and you want to just check things out back in LumaFusion, you can close down this side panel, and then you've got this little arrow up here. Just tap on that and that will take you back in to LumaFusion. And you'll now see with the highlight track, we've highlighted Italy, we just play it through, you'll see it nicely holds on to the tracking of the globe. If you want to go back into PaintX, just highlight your clip again, tap on the pencil this time, and there's our PaintX. Just open it up. You've obviously got the visibility. You can delete it if you want, but the one thing you can't do is duplicate it. What you then want to do to access the work you've just done, tap on the pencil, that takes you back into the interface. And everything's pretty much editable. So for example, if I open up my side panel just now, and we tap on what's going on here, you'll see we've got our reveal source, our track 1 layer, which is effectively the background, and then the track 2 layer. So when you want to work on the inside of the box, you're going to use reveal source brush, and then if you want to work on the outside of the box, you're going to be coming into either source clip 0 or track layer 1. And as you can see in track layer 1, you've got this mix going on here. So if we reduce it down even further, we can make things disappear or bring it up a bit. It'll make things brighter effectively. So we just set that around about 50%. If we go into our reveal source, we can then control what's going on in the reveal brush here. And again, you get the option of mixing the two in. You can control the feathering a bit further if you want. Play with how soft and how the edge actually interacts. Set that to there. And once you've made any changes or you're ready to get back out, just close this panel down. Top one opens up, and again you're going to be clicking on this arrow here to get back out. If we go back into it for a third time, another thing I want to make you aware of is this little cog settings icon down here. These are your tooltips. And I have to say, in using PaintX for a month or so now, coming in here and just tapping on these and finding out what's what makes a big difference. And obviously, if you open up a side panel and tap on it, it gives you all the controls there as well. So we can close that down, do the top panel, and you can see what's actually going on in the editor. So just thought I'd make you aware of that. So that's how to use the highlight tracker. I found the finished clip to be a little bit on the flatter side, so I created an adjustment layer and just effectively boosted the contrast, played with the mid-tones, and just popped the highlights a little bit more. And then if we just sort of play with the vibrance, we don't want it too saturated. Maybe even drop the saturation a little bit just to get kind of that balance. So this is the first of what's going to be a series of video tutorials about PaintX. I think it has a lot of potential, but it's also got a lot of hidden traps, shall we say, in terms of how much resolution you can actually play with, the frames per second and things like that, and you know, what kind of clips you can put through it successfully. I know certainly some of my viewers have been struggling with 4K 60 frames per second clips, for example. So I'm going to work through these things with you, and we're going to come up with some use cases to make PaintX a really successful part of your workflow. So this is part one of, I don't know how many parts there will be, but there'll be a good few. And for all those who have just joined the channel very recently because of PaintX and the updates to LumaFusion, hi, welcome, hope you're having a good time. I'm Stu, I'm a photographer, filmmaker, video editor, and obviously YouTuber. So I hope this has been useful for you, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you later.